don't play PUBG
I don't play PUBG at all.
Does anyone play PUBG?
I kept thinking that it would be a fad that would just die off, but it's like still going strong.
It's not, bro.
I don't know, man.
It's so much fun, actually. This is like the first time in a while where I'm like, I find like another game that I want to like keep playing every day.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know what's like the whole, whatchamacallit, what keeps me back. I feel like the one thing for me is that it just feels really satisfying to get really like looted in that game and just murder people. Because there's, in the game, like, there's a silencer, right?
Yeah.
And when you get a silencer, you literally, if you get shot by a silencer, it feels like you don't know where the direction it's coming from.
Oh, okay.
Or like how far is he. So when you're shooting at someone and you have a silencer, people start like running in circles, and it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I never got into it. I never played any of like the DayZ, H1Z1, those type of games.
I played H1Z1. That game was fucking terrible.
Well, it's funny because like I look at PUBG and I'm like, this can't be like the final iteration for these kind of games. Like, I understand, for example, like certain genres feel like they've been mainly explored, right? Like you have League of Legends. Like if you were to make a new League of Legends or a new MOBA,
It's not gonna work out.
It's like
they got Dota 2, you got League of Legends,
you've got a Han,
Smite,
like, there's
HOTS,
too many.
Han, all that.
It's oversaturated, right?
You're done. No more MOBAs.
But like H1Z1 and like the I don't know what you'd call it, like a survival
DayZ,
battle arena thing. I don't
Battle
know.
Royale.
Battle Royale. Like I feel like there's got to be a better version that'll come out in this game, and I'll play that one. I'll wait because H1Z1 still looks jank as fuck. I don't know. I'm not super into it.
Who plays H1Z1 still? I can't believe fucking orcs still have H1Z1 teams. You know, like
Really?
no flame, but
who watches
how the
that?
fuck does Echo Fox and TSM still have an H1Z1 team?
It's like probably one of those things. They're like, oh shit, I don't even remember who is this guy. He's a H1Z1. Who the fuck?
What
is
the
this
fuck
guy?
is H1Z1?
Yeah.
It's so weird. That game is dead as hell.
Someone in chat talked about Master X Master. Have you heard of that game?
Oh yeah, that's the other. It's a MOBA too, right? I've seen.
It's like it's more like it's weird because I consider MOBA stuff like League, where you have minions and a base that you're trying to protect. But MXM, if I remember correctly, is just like a fight. Like you just fight in a little area, right? Kind of like Battle Right.
I have no idea.
Is that right? I have no idea.
All I know is, isn't that they're like they have a system where you can change from like one champ to another.
Yeah, you pick two. It's a tag team game, so you can you choose two characters and you can like switch between them, like a Tekken tag sort of thing.
A lot of streamers got sponsored, so that's why I see it all over the place.
Yeah. I heard the game's actually pretty fun. Never played it myself.
Me neither.
I looked at some of the characters and they just look like direct rip-offs of League characters. Like some of them, it's like not even.
Oh yeah, remember that League thing that happened like was it this week or last week where they're suing that one mobile game because it's like just.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, and I was like, finally.
Yeah, I know.
It's all over the place.
You go to, on Instagram or like Twitter, all those
Yes.
sponsored ads are always just like direct rip-offs.
It's
of
like
League.
just straight up Ash in the game, and with the same map, you're just like, what?
Play mobile League of Legends now.
Mobile Legends.
Yeah, Mobile Legends.
Looks exactly the fucking same.
So dumb.
Mobile Legends. Is
I bet they still made a bunch of money off that shit too.
Oh fuck yeah! What? There's definitely people out there who bought that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what we should talk about that I feel like everyone's talking about, but I have no idea what it's about. That one anime everyone's watching, the Hero Academia one.
Boku no Hero Academia. This shit is so good. I went on a rant about this last week because Scarra and Mark were like, it's okay. And it's fucking sick. It's so good.
I haven't watched a single episode. What's it about?
It's literally Naruto.
Oh.
You have this like main character who has this inherited power, and he becomes the best, and it's his journey about becoming the best, and there's a colorful cast of characters around him, and we're in the tournament arc. It's literally Naruto.
Oh.
But the animation is so good, and the music is so good, and the main character is actually more likable than Naruto, but it's literally Naruto.
Oh, alright. I've actually started watching anime again, but I'm like, I'm way back. I'm watching I don't know how to say it, Kuroko no Basket.
Oh, Kuroko no Basket, yeah.
I'm watching that. That shit's tight as hell.
I never watched it. Actually, Mark has seen it. That's like one of the animes that I haven't seen that Mark has seen.
I actually really like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you a basketball fan, or you just randomly picked it up?
I used to watch basketball a lot. I used to be like a huge Lakers fan. Then I got into League, and then I just stopped watching basketball. Any sports at all.
Yeah.
What is a sport?
It's that thing you do when you go outside.
All I know is esports now. Oh, you know what I did yesterday? I played Dota 2 for the first time.
Why would you do that?
I don't.
What made you do that? Was it a girl?
No, it was like my friends play Dota 2, right? My high school friends, and I jokingly was like, "Yeah, let's play Dota 2," and I downloaded it, and then, my God, it is just nowhere close to League in terms of like gameplay or anything.
Yeah, it's so funny because from an outside perspective, for someone who's never played a MOBA, they look at League and they look at Dota and they're like, they look kind of like the same thing. You've got lanes,
five champs, lanes.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you play it and it just doesn't feel like anywhere near the same game. It's so crazy.
I haven't played in a year, right?
Yeah.
So a year before, I had 1,000 hours on Dota, right?
Yeah.
So I actually played it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I knew how to play the game at like a noob level, but like I knew how to play the game. Now going in, oh my God, the game is nowhere near the same it was.
Yeah.
There's a fucking item in the game that it like increases the range on your abilities, and I was like, isn't that nuts?
Yeah, you compare that, like none of the items in League are nearly that broken, right? Like when they had I don't know if this item is still in the game, like Blink Dagger, like
Blink Dagger, that's nuts too. It's like 15-second flash, and it's like triple flashes. And there's like ways you can, like, I wanted to play Pudge, which is basically like the Blitzcrank, right?
Yeah.
So it's like zombie Blitzcrank, yeah, right? And I was told that I could like literally roam the entire game. I do not have to lane. I can pick up this thing called a bounty rune that gives me money and XP, and it's just like you can roam the entire game. And I was just like, what the fuck? I like totally inted, and then you know how there's like Mike in that game, so I was just getting yelled at the whole time. Just like, what the fuck are you building, man? I was just like, I don't fucking know how to play this stupid game.
Yeah, when I played Dota, I literally just played a character called Chaos Knight, and all of his abilities are based off of RNG, where like he has a stun that lasts for as low as 1 second and like up to 6 seconds or something dumb like that. It's just like roll the dice, or like. He has another one where you warp people to you, and like you like just switch places, but the distance is random, and so like just like random things would happen. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess like this is fine. I don't know. And the thing that was hardest to get used to for Dota for me was the fact that you have turning speed.
Yes, that's so weird. It's like so weird. Kiting as like in that game is so much more like different than it is in League.
You know, when you see people play League, you hear it, right? Because their mouse goes because they're always bouncing back and forth and making their character spaz out. But in Dota, you're like
having like with the base attack speed, trying to like move up and then turn around. You literally just see a character slowly turn around.
Yeah. And then I learned the hard way what denying was. And
yes, denying in that game too, where you can deny creeps, so you can deny last hits, and you can deny champions too. Yeah. Which is so weird. Just killing your teammates.
Yeah, kill your teammates so you can prevent the gold from going to your opponent's team.
Like your teammate's gonna lift you, and you just deny him just to. Oh yeah, the courier system too. So in Dota they have like an actual like a. It could be anything, like a fucking like donkey or a monkey that brings you your item. Yeah. You don't have to go back to base. Yep. That's really weird too. Oh, the game is
the secret base thing.
Oh, yeah, I have a secret shop too.
I hated that.
The game is just so much more different.
I feel like I don't know.
When I say this, my friends who play Dota always go against me when I say this, but I say Dota 2 is a harder game to learn than League, but they disagree.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 100% Dota 2 is the harder game. It's like way more punishing.
So much. Yeah, that too. I thought about in Dota when you die you lose gold. Yeah. And I was just like, wait, that's like already just like so much more harder than League.
Yeah. At least in League, I don't know. I feel like even someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing can like do something and feel like kind of okay about it, you know, like. Oh, I flash Q'd as Alistar. It's great.
I'm nuts.
I'm so sick, right? And like Dota, you're like, I can't do anything.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea.
In that game too, like, you know how in League when you fall back behind in levels. There's a literal like mechanic
Catch-up
in the game.
system.
Like,
No, Dota, you're fucked.
No,
you're just
if
fucked.
you will literally. The last game I played when I was playing the Pudge, I was trying to like learn the roaming style, and I was just roaming around, and I was level 9, and their enemy carry was level 17.
Yeah,
I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. Dota seems so brutal. The first couple times I played, I heard like Venomancer was like pretty decent, and he started out as level 1, and it's supposed to be a decent support character. I was like, oh, sick. And I don't think I like ever hit level 4 the entire game. I was just so bad. I was so bad. And it's also weird too because turrets are way different in that game. You just get dove like nonstop.
Oh yeah, you can actually just like people don't give a shit. You
Yeah.
can switch aggro to the tower as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if that's still a mechanic in the game, but when I played, you could.
Yeah.
Anyways, fuck that game.
Yeah. Fuck that game. Back
League
to
of Legends.
League of Legends, greatest game, right?
Oh no, horrible. Fuck. This patch was so weird. I was just like, you know what? League's pretty fun right now. And then
Dusk
Ryder was
Blade.
like, wait a minute. What if we made it not fun again? Fuck that.
Our market research says that players are having too much fun. How can we change that? Let's bring back Dusk Blade.
Maokai's good again. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I can't believe Maokai's like almost like a first pick priority every game now. That makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Personally, Mark commented on this, and he said it's funner to watch like this kind of stuff. And actually, I like half agree, because I do think it's a little bit more fun watching, like, I don't know, tanks are kind of sometimes fun to watch. Like, there's always like
Don't
big
agree with Mark.
CC
You don't
plays.
have to agree with Mark.
Mark's ugly. There's like big CC plays, right? That's kind of cool. But at the same time, coming from a carry standpoint, no.
It fucking sucks, dude.
You literally sit there and hit the Maokai. You have IE, fucking Shiv, and Greaves, and he has ninja tabbies and a cloth armor, and you do nothing. He doesn't give a shit.
And he kills you in like 5 hits.
And he kills you.
Yeah, I don't know. I really thought last patch was super fun. I played a lot of League back then. And then, actually, to be honest, I really like Duskblade Champion, so I'm actually kind of
Fuck
okay
you.
with it.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse, not going to lie. I thought we were going to see the return of the Barish Jin kind of meta.
Well, it was pretty bad in the very beginning. Before they did the hotfix, it was...
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
People would build Duskblade's first item and then one-shot you, and you'd be like, oh.
I saw Duskblade Jace, and legitimately he would...
You just
dead in 2
Duskblade every
seconds.
champ.
Yeah.
You had to build Duskblade first. Doesn't matter what 80 carry you were, build Duskblade first. It definitely got better, so I'm glad they hotfixed it instead of being like, you know what? Fuck it, next patch.
Yep.
So that's good, but yeah. You know what I wanted also to talk about, but it's going to get a little weird? Me and you. The whole, like, is it me or people are posting about their girlfriends a lot more? Boy, Mark, what's going on, bros? Are you seeing this? Is this only me? Am I just jealous?
I'm trying to think. I know Voy started posting pictures. I see it on my Instagram.
Everyone was memeing
And
him
then-
yesterday, and they were just like, she's only smiling because we got ice
Oh,
cream.
that's right.
That was
Oh
so
my
funny.
god. Yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck those guys and their
Maybe I'm
girlfriends.
just jealous because I don't have a girlfriend, and I never will, and they are having a good time with their girlfriends. But I feel like I'm seeing that more often.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fucking weird.
Get a life.
Yeah. Why don't you guys hang out and do other things? I don't know. I'm just like, oh god. Relationships are fucking hard, you know.
When's the last time you were in a relationship?
I don't know, like half a year ago, maybe more now. I'm trying to think.
Oh, I'm bringing back bad thoughts shit. I'm sorry.
I think it's about it's been around there.
I think
half a
Josh
year
is about
a
to
year.
cry. I'm sorry.
Oh god, she has a new boyfriend now.
They're gonna get married.
Yeah.
I'm invited to the
Probably.
wedding. I'm not going.
Yeah. So,
Was she Asian?
Actually, no.
Oh, wait, what ethnicity was she?
She was white.
White.
What?
But yeah, I feel like, I mean,
I'm gonna close out of Skype.
I'm not like too against it, but it's there.
They just gotta rub it in our face, right, Mark? Right? You just gotta keep posting pictures about your girlfriend.
Yeah, of course I have to. That was more in response to what's his fucking name? Boy?
Yeah.
Mark loves his girlfriend
Is that what
so
we're talking about?
much.
Is that just because you heard me open the door?
Yeah, it was just because he opened the door and made fun of you.
That was about the boy one, though.
Yeah, it's okay. No problem.
She's smiling because she has ice cream.
Where did that come from? Where
That was
boy.
That was boy?
That was
the
boy's
picture
caption.
with his girl, and there was just like a cheesy picture, but instead of just being like, I like her a lot,
Or
put
like,
some joke in there, so then everyone fucking memed him.
yeah.
And then I, of course, did the anti-meme, and I was like, she's not smiling because she doesn't have ice cream.
I hate this like girlfriend meta on Twitter right now.
Girlfriend meta.
Yeah, this fucking shit
That's
sucks.
That's like such a good way to call this shit.
Yeah.
Girlfriend
Who
meta.
else,
The
is,
girlfriend
who else
meta.
is in the meta?
Boy.
Okay.
Boy, you.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like cop sometimes.
Cop, yeah.
Oh, he does that like once. They don't even like live near each other.
Ooh.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
Bring that
That's
shit
fucked
up.
up. All right.
Is that something?
Okay.
Who else is in the girlfriend meta right now?
Uh,
Because for a while it was the single meta. Like,
I mean, it's
literally
still the
everyone was single.
I
It's still
feel.
kind of.
I mean,
but
I mean, it's
changing.
the internet.
There's
It's
a patch.
largely like 90% of the chat right now does not have.
I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I've seen more pros with girlfriends.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like Acadian.
Well, that's the.
Oh
big-
yeah, Acadian.
Yeah, he's part of the girlfriend meta.
He's part of the girlfriend meta for sure.
I like their girlfriend meta though. They're not just like posting.
Fuck him.
When's the patch where we get girlfriends, huh?
That patch doesn't come.
Gotta update the topics. How you doing, dude? Josh, you
doing
gonna be
good.
joining us this whole time, or you gonna be playing on your fight stick? Gonna be playing
You
with
gonna
your
play
stick?
on your fight stick?
I was gonna put my fight stick in my butthole and play that.
That's a good technique.
That's what.
I have my notes on my phone.
You have notes. I was
What?
prepared to basically solo this show. I was like, Yuna's just gonna be here for.
What's the game?
I actually have notes. I tried really hard too.
So first was C9P1.
C9 versus.
Wait, I have to do something really quick. Like my boss
It's,
kind of
TL Envy.
my boss kind of just texted me, Google me the curviest road you can find. I can't do it right now since I'm driving.
Curviest
But he
road?
somehow texted me 2 messages telling me to do that.
What the fuck? Why is that your job?
Then you can do after C9P1 TL Envy, Dig TSM, Echo Fox CLG, TL versus P1, and then Immortals Fly.
So I didn't watch any of the games today, so I don't
Perfect.
know if I could even.
Perfect.
Help
Mark
out
will
with
fill
it.
you in. Wait, what are we starting off with? We're starting with... Yeah, okay,
The
cool.
Friday games.
Cool.
Did you watch the Friday games?
I did. I mean, I was there.
Oh yeah, of course. Yuna helps with P1 social media.
I am the social media guy.
Social media man.
All right. Well, I'm ready to get into this awesome, amazing series.
All right, give me 2 more seconds.
No.
Scarra's
Now.
Scarra's dead.
on my dipstick.
What was the other series? TL for... Okay, yeah.
So how have you been, man?
We already went over this, man.
Shit. All right. I feel like you're so on the camera. You're like so close.
Should I scoot back?
I don't know. It
Why
might be
can't
the
I be
couch.
close?
I don't know. You can be. It feels like you're so close.
Scar died.
He did.
Scar's dead.
He went to
He went to DreamHack Atlanta.
Austin.
Austin.
Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Is it Atlanta?
Atlanta. Austin. We made up a fake story. Are you texting your girlfriend? She's doing that.
Well, because she's like,
That's
when?
cool.
How much longer? And I'm like, probably like an hour and a half.
You guys are going on a little date afterwards?
No.
You guys going on a little date?
No. I don't date my girlfriend.
Here I am. I was just like, it must be a Riot thing. Riot must be like, Mark, you did a good job today.
Oh, I never hear that.
Oh,
They're like, all right, see you tomorrow, and that's it.
God.
All right, so let's kick things off then with the first series in C9 versus P1.
This is a great series.
Oh, by the way, hey, I forgot to intro. Usually Scarra does it while
yeah.
I'm getting my notes ready. Welcome everyone to Greatest League Talkshow, where we will be recapping North American LCS for this week. It's the Saturday episode, so no power rankings at the end of this one. Maybe some questions and answers now that Yuna's back on the show for
Yes.
this episode.
Ask me anything.
And tomorrow's episode. But we'll be recapping the Friday and Saturday games. And so yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
C9 versus P1, first series up. 2-1 for P1 or C9, excuse me. It really actually didn't feel like that close of a series though. Felt mostly like C9 was gonna win. They smashed game 1 for the most part. Game 2 they were winning until their comp just got butt blasted by triple tank.
Sivir, Taric, and 2 tanks.
You're gonna see a lot of that. I hope you guys enjoy tanks. And then game 3 was more or less the same. C9 are just steamrolling over it. It did get like a little close just because they lost Baron.
The horrible why it's a Cho'Gath.
I feel like people just haven't played against her. We'll get into it.
All right, game 1.
Game 1.
Game 1 was probably it felt like game 3, but not as hard.
Right, it was game 3 without the Baron throw. They were
Yes.
actually very similar. And the first thing we have to talk about is one, Kane. Great.
Kane. They first picked Kane. It was the first time Kane was in LCS.
They didn't first pick it as first
time Kane was being picked.
And it's a champion that I think it's a little similar to Rek'Sai a little bit. Like it doesn't have the knockup, but it can walk through walls.
And it's a really weird gank pass it can take as well. And
Yeah.
they super leashed him as well that game.
Yeah.
So he showed up top at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They sapling the blue and the Wraiths, and the bot lane leashed a red. So he was there instantly.
Yeah, he got up there right away, and he started on Raptors. The other team knew it, and it's like, oh, he's ganking me from behind 2.5 minutes in the game. It's just that, one, super leashing is just the biggest piece of shit in the game.
Yes.
I think that, is probably the most broken thing
Yes.
in the game. Like, it's not that big of an issue in solo queue. I don't play a ton,
It's
but
because people are lazy.
yeah, they're not coordinated enough. But if people start doing this in solo queue, if you guys want to start winning games, just do this. Convince your bot lane to just auto attack red while you do Raptors with your mid laner. You don't need Maokai cheese. You just literally do that, and then you can gank all 3 lanes pre 245, basically.
You'll be level 3. It's pretty it's a free gank. Your laners will be level 2.
They're level 2 or level 1. It's just absolutely bananas. You can only really do it on blue side. You can do some good leashes. Kind of on red.
It's weird on red because you want to start Ray, so I don't think it's as good.
They did this weird thing where Maokai sapling. Did you see this today? In EU LCS, they did this really cool thing where they had Maokai sapling in blue while Maokai starts on Raptors in red. So he gets a leash from his top and jungle, or his top and mid on the top side of the map, while his bot lane just does blue for him. And then they just walk it over to the sapling to take it.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing where they just fucking start topside, but the other guys do your buff and you just have a sapling take it.
That's actually nuts. What? Did the gank work out too?
I forget. But I was just like, dude, the jungle's just broken right now. It's everything's fine but the first clear. The first clear is absolutely broken.
Yeah, that is some I kind of like the whole innovative stuff, but that seems just really weird and not good for the game.
I like innovative starts, but the problem is it's you're ganking my bot lane when they're level 1 and you're level 3. This isn't fair. And it's the same thing, you are topside at 230 when you started bottom and you have double buffs. This is bullshit.
And you went through the wall and you're behind me.
Yeah. Anyways, Kane's crazy. A contract was talking about it. It's the only jungler with a gap closer on that low of a cooldown. It's a 7-second cooldown on his Q rank 1.
Yeah.
So you can just hop walls all over the place to get over things.
And max ranked it's 3 seconds.
So
it's pretty nuts.
Pretty mobile champion.
It's pretty good.
Anyways, the other thing worth noting in the draft is just Cho'Gaths are back. Maokai's are back. That's perfect for impact. You can only play tanks right now, it seems like. And he looked pretty good on Maokai.
He did. He looked very good on Maokai.
So yeah, anyways, as we were saying, Kane kind of takes over this game early on. Ganks top lane with the super leash. They get a kill. They set up a dive in the bot lane. Jensen roams down to that at 9 minutes. Then they start forcing around mid. They flip to the top lane. And they basically just snowball.
Yeah, this game felt really... It just felt like horrible macro decisions from P1. To be frankly honest, it's towers are being traded just terribly. I think the biggest thing I wrote down was at one point there was they were hitting. Someone got caught at bot lane, I believe. So, Cho'Gath gets caught. at bot lane.
Yeah.
Cho'Gath gets caught at bot lane. So the reaction instantly should be oh, all right, Cho'Gath is dead. We must defend our tower. But instead, they trade a tier 3 bot lane tower for the mid tier 1, and it was just what are we doing?
Yeah, P1's macro is pretty booty. Only worse than Team Liquid's based off today's games, but Team Liquid still won, whatever.
Hey.
Anything else you want to talk about? Because this just felt like Super Leash plus decent team comp equals game over after like snowballing.
I don't even know what to say about this game. It's literally like 20 minutes to get buried, and then the game is pretty much over.
Right. So then that brings us to game 2.
Which is, I feel like the most interesting game of the series. I feel like everyone is probably going to poop on Reaper for like letting him have this team comp of the whole like Taric Sivir stuff. But I feel like the game was actually, like, it was like P1's poor macro decisions led them in such a huge deficit, but then the clock ran, and then, I mean, they're just running at them at this point.
Right, so the team comp is, Maokai, Sivir, Cho'Gath, Taric, and then Kassadin. So they basically just like run and insta-kill one player on your team, and you can't stop them. It's completely like ridiculous. I'm surprised we don't see more of these comps, because I'm like, how do you really beat this effectively without like kind of picking a similar thing where you have a bunch of tanks as well? So, and there's a ton of like super meta tanks anyways, like Cho'Gath, Zac, Sejuani, Gragas, Maokai, Braum, Alistar, Taric, Tahm Kench. Like you can Gnar.
Tanks are very
bad. There's a million tanks, and for some reason some teams are still picking squishy team comps.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like someone picked Jace top today. That was pretty memey.
Yeah, the Jace mids have looked all right. Anyway, C9 has Thresh, Jhin, Taliyah, Lee, Shen. Taliyah and Jhin, no mobility versus Sivir,
no
Maokai, Kassadin. Yeah.
Literally at one point, I mean, the best thing they got is Lee to kick away like maybe the Taric, but he gets locked up by the Maokai the entire game as well. At one point, he dies bot lane tower while Taric is ulti, tries kicking him out and gets rooted under tower, which is like, what?
Yeah, this game, like, C9 did start with the lead again. They made more plays on the map. They're like, they dove top. They tried to dive bottom, like you said, but they used the Taliyah W and the Lee Sin insect on Taric, ulted targets.
An ulti Taric, so
they didn't do any damage. So anyways, they kind of flubbed one dive, but it didn't matter that much. They lost like one kill. I think it was just Contracts who died under the turret from that. And then they were winning. Still, they took more turrets and stuff, and then they went for a jungle invade.
The jungle invade?
Yeah, the one where they tried to kill some people at like the red buff area, like 20 minutes into the game, and they didn't kill anyone. And then that's when they the first time like the Maokai, Sivir,
it was
Taric just killed everybody.
Yeah. They just ran them over.
Yeah, they got like a 4 for 2 for P1, and then after that, like P1 just slowly started winning more and more fights, and everything was like, well, we pressed R and ran at them, and start killing them.
It was literally like, I don't know. It's like hard to really like go into this because it's literally they just pressed R and they ran at them. The big thing you just have to highlight this game is just like, I wrote it down as well. It's at 13 minutes at tier 2 they killed 2 instead of, so they traded Rift Herald for a tier 2 tower, and then they used the Rift Herald mid in front of 4 people, and the Rift Herald dies, and it's just like,
there's been some terrible Rift Herald usage. I can understand sometimes like Rift Herald's running out and like
you're just throwing him out.
Yeah, you're just throwing him out. But this is like you have no pressure.
They got this. They just got this. They knew they wanted to trade this Rift Herald for the tier 2, so they have to really, really effectively use this Rift Herald, and it just goes down mid and dies for free.
Yeah, they just drop it. This is the one that didn't even hit the turret, right?
No, it didn't get the
turret. They dropped it in range, out of range of the turret, and then a new minion wave came, so it just started hitting the minions. And
then it got Thresh hooked and like all this stuff. It got CC'd and it lost all its health before it touched the tower. Yeah. I think it actually ends up charging the tower for like 100 HP.
Oh, did I get a charge off? Oh, nice. That's sick.
Nuts.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so C9 like they had enough of a lead to win this game if they were playing well. But they started fucking up, and then, yes, P1...
The thing I talked about this game, too, to you, was Sneaky's build. I don't think was that good.
Oh,
Double lethality is not effective versus 2 tanks. If you ever get double lethality as an AD versus 2 tanks, he will do 0 damage that game. And he did. He went the Dust Ghost Blade. I think he could have sat on the Ghost Blade when maybe Rapid Fire into a Last Whisper item. There was no way he was going to build any item build that could have actually won him the game at that point. But... it was just a little thing that kind of...
Yeah, and sometimes, even against tanks, you can go, like, double lethal if it's like, oh, we can snipe out their backline, and we're going to be engaging on them. But, like, the Sivir is going to be running at you. And you,
the whole time.
Yeah, you're not
sniping.
Yeah,
this game, you are not ever using your ultimate as Jhin.
Yeah, same like Kassadin jumped on your face. You're not
having a good time as this game.
Anyways, so that's game 2. And then, like we were saying, game 3 is pretty similar to game 1.
It's just like, it's weird, like, talking about P1, especially as me, because I'm hired by them.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's 2 P1 series, and they lose both of them.
And they're both just, like, really bad, just macro decisions from P1. They're trading towers that shouldn't be traded. Like, they're losing tier 2s for tier 1s. At this point, like, the best thing they did this game was Zig walks up to the... C9 just lets Cho'Gath flash into the Baron pit and consume the Baron, and... Yeah, they come back. C9 actually plays a team fight pretty badly.
Yeah, they lose a fight hard.
And then P1 comes back. But after that, it's just at 60 minutes, they lost all their towers. Literally at 60 minutes, they have 0 outer towers.
And I think did they even have one at this point?
What do you mean?
I think P1 only had 1 turret, right? Like
how many towers did they take?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think it was like 1.
It was 1 or nothing.
Yeah, they were super far behind. And like you said, the Cho'Gath thing, people just aren't used to playing against Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I guess it's just weird. It's 1k damage, true on like monsters. So
yeah,
people definitely underestimate it.
And it's like they played the situation like correct. If the other team didn't have a Cho'Gath, they're like, we force Baron, we turn off, we kill their jungler, we go back on the Baron. There's no smite available, it's free, and it's like no,
he's a Cho'Gath.
There's
He's
a
gonna eat
Cho'Gath,
it.
dude. And yeah, so he just flashes it and takes it.
Flash it, eats it. The game gets turned around, stagnated. But even after that, 60-minute no towers, you're just going to get ran around the map again.
Yeah, so once again, C9 are able to close this game out once the next Baron comes up. I think, like you said, they lost a fight, but the goalie was like never...
They lost a weird team fight where like Maokai overextended at the tower, he died for free, and then Cassiopeia flashed forward, and then stunned one person, died, and then Alistar comboed the Kog'Maw in, and they lost the fight.
Right, it was just a split call where like the Maokai ults to force them off the turret, and then like he continues going in while the rest of them are like, we're
hitting the tower.
Yeah, we're killing the turret, dude. So that was just a split call, but they ended up winning. Taking things away from this series, I don't think there's much to take away as a C9 fan. It's like Contracts has a good Kayn.
Kayn's playable.
Kayn's playable. Impact still plays Maokai pretty well.
We just beat Impact.
Arguably the worst team in the league right now. So is it that impressive? No. I mean, the biggest thing was that, like, you know, Contract snowballed bot in top as opposed to mid lane, I guess. Like, if that's what you want to take away from it,
Very,
sure.
like, mid-centric player actually is working with his other lanes is pretty important.
Right, so that's probably the biggest thing. But once again, like you said, P1's macro was awful, so it wasn't hard to find good angles.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It's very hard to take away anything as a C9 fan.
All right, so we'll just bump on to the next series then. TL versus NB. Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is the
other 3-game series.
They picked Jace. Why?
Hey.
Why pick Jace?
Hey, it's Seraph. Duskblade strong. He's gonna be able to snowball.
Please don't pick Jace top. Please. It's terrible.
You don't know that. This series is a 3-game series. TL ends up winning this one 2-1. Like was saying, there's
Golden Glue memes everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's just every time TL plays now, especially since
guy's nuts.
Especially since he's doing okay.
He's
just
doing
Vault
okay.
Boy, Vault Boy everywhere in chat.
It's the whole chat, and it's funny too because it's always like cocky things like, "Fuck you, team. My wall is great."
That's because he's got like the shades are on.
And he put on the. Did you see at the end of his match? He put on the shades.
No, I didn't see that. Holy shit!
It was great.
Because I saw the Digon interview him today.
Digon?
The new Filipino guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He interviewed him and he called him Vault Boy to his face, and I was like, isn't that kind of rude? But I didn't realize like Golden Glue is on top of the meme too.
Oh hell yeah, he's on that meme.
Okay, he's super on top of the meme.
Yeah, he's on that.
Fuck you, that wall was great. Everyone believes in me. All right, so let's get into the series because this is one that it did kind of feel like I didn't have many notes for this. It was just like one game was horrible, the next game was horrible out of like one team or the other. So game one.
Game one was
this is the Jace top game.
The excellent, great pick. Every team should pick Jace top. He gets shut down by the jungler. He's 0-2 by like 7 minutes. He's worthless for the rest of the game. So
I mean, to be fair, like I understand the idea of the comp where it's like, all right, so we got Kennen, Kalista with Jace top, Taliyah Cho'Gath, who got a tank in the jungle. Taliyah's gonna go wall one of the side lanes off. We're gonna dive them. It's gonna go great. But Cho just farms for the first 6 minutes, and in the meantime,
Jace.
Reignover kills top twice.
Yep. So Jace becomes worthless, and then actually Envy start taking the lead. It becomes ᵐᵉ starts actually making plays. I believe he kills like mid and bot like once or twice.
Yeah, well,
so
bot lane had a really big lead for most of the series, actually. Apollo and Hakuho shit on them.
Hakuho shit on Piglet and Matt. So yeah, they had a good lead, so they were winning. And then the best thing in the world happens. Somehow, in I don't know what the fuck world, Envy loses the Baron with a Cho'Gath and a Kalista.
Yeah.
What? How?
It's like they were up like 3k gold. It's maybe like a little risky to force, given that your Jace is useless, but at the same time, like you said,
It's a Cho'Gath Kalista.
with a Talia.
Yes.
Like, you wall him off and burst it.
Please, zone the fucking Gragas away. Or just use your abilities.
So what ends up happening is it's like the kind of thing where there's just so much objective control. You just like don't know what to, like, how can I hold all this objective control? And they just fucking, they smite at 3.5k HP. Cho'Gath never consumes because there's like a delay on it. I guess he's not comfortable.
There's like
with
an animation.
Yeah, he's just not comfortable with the cast time or whatever. And Kalista Ren's at 1800 HP, which is way too high. You can, like, you just do one of them. Just stop trying to combo it. Just rend it at 1200.
You can literally do one of them.
Nothing does more than 1000 true damage. Kalista will do more than 1000 damage. Just wait till it's closer to 1000. But they do it at 1800. The consume doesn't come through or whatever it's called.
Consume.
No, that's
Right?
new.
Oh,
New is
wait.
Consume. What is
Feast.
Feast?
Yes.
Same fucking name.
Same thing.
Yeah. Anyways, he doesn't get the feast off, and Reignover steals it with the smite.
It was just like mind-blowing blunder.
Yeah. Ugh.
After that, it was pretty... They used Lordlo's huge lead over the Jace with the Baron, and he just controls the game, and Lordlo's actually able to like push his lead well enough where he spreads it across his team, and they just win the game.
That's the thing about Gnar is that he can still kind of get ahead of the Jace if things work out, and so like the early kills plus finally getting the Baron, they get a bunch of objectives
He
back.
becomes like a good splitter. He's actually able to kill towers instead of like someone like a Maokai who would get fed, can't really like kill towers.
Yeah.
He still needs to team fight. Gnar can actually become a split pusher.
So this game basically came down to like the Seraph problem for Envy, where it's like sometimes he just throws the game and they can't recover it.
Sometimes he just throws the game.
Now that said, they still should have won this game because their
For
bot
sure.
lane carried hard enough with ᵐᵉ, but then they just those two people who were carrying the game threw a Baron, and just, it was fucking sad. So then game 2 is kind of just like a horrible, just like embarrassing game for Team Liquid.
Yeah. Again, like they're just getting shafted. Like Hakuho and Apollo are just they killed Tristan like 5 minutes. It's something like
a nasty hook.
Oh yeah, nasty hook, but still, it's just like something you don't really expect to see at like an LCS level kind of thing. Where I don't know why they're dying here, but they're dead. So
Yeah, it was definitely just like, I mean, it was well played, like you said, but that shouldn't be happening. The TL comp really doesn't have much going on for it if they start dying. Like, okay, Trist Ori scales super well. That's kind of how they won the last game. Was they also had Trist Ori as their carries, and I think they're kind of like, all right, well, if we just go late with Trist Ori, we'll beat them with our better team fighting. But this time they didn't get that Baron throw to put them back in the game. Envy was just relatively clean, and they just like they got the kill there. Hakuho roams mid, didn't really do that much. Seraph had a really nice roam on Jarvan to come and gank Golden Glue, and it just like kind of spilled over all into the map where they just kept getting kills and ganks and stuff like that.
Envy already had like such a good lead off lanes, and then at 20 minutes they had a dragon fight that was, I don't know if you watched it, but it was, woo, it was another good one. Matt doesn't have ult for the fight.
Well, that's because they lost at bot lane pushing.
Yeah, Matt loses ult at the bottom fight. They go to dragon. He gets bursted instantly. For some reason, Piglet is on the far right side, so he can't even do damage. Lordlo's in the middle of them, gets hooked, dies, and they chase down Ori, and 4 people are dead, and then this is the real big snowball starts to start.
It was sad too because TL had TP advantage for that, and it was like,
they?
Yeah, so it was like maybe they'll like, TP on top or like trade turrets or something, but he just TPs in the middle of Envy, like you said, and just dies. It was pretty bad. I think TL did kind of come back in this game a little bit, right? Like,
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
I think you're thinking of a different series because after that, basically all they do is pink worth everything on their topside jungle. Like TL obviously needs to get the vision to try to stop Baron because if they lose Baron, the game's over. They keep doing that. They're never able to get vision. They just chase him down to their jungle. They finally killed him, and they just end through mid at like 27 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't even get the Baron, right?
No, they didn't.
They just killed him.
They just killed him.
So that's game 2. Like we said, pretty snowball. There was the one thing with the Rift Herald. It was probably like the worst Rift Herald usage ever.
I didn't see it.
It was worse than the one in the P1 series because they got it and Reignover like kind of pressures top turret and they start hitting top turret while their bot side's getting traded out and they're like, you know what? We'll find a better opportunity to use this Rift Herald. We're not going to use it on top. They don't get the top turret right away, and then he never uses it until mid lane. I think this is the one that I was talking about before.
Or it just doesn't even hit.
Doesn't even hit the turret. They just drop it in mid lane. It sits there. The next minion wave comes. It gets cleared. It literally did nothing but like kill 3 minions in the front. Three melee minions. Great Rift Herald.
How much gold is that? That's like.
You gave out just as much gold.
I thought Rift Herald was worth 50.
Yeah, but you didn't.
3 melee minions are worth like. 60.
Oh, I thought you meant like between killing Rift Herald yourself and then giving it for them to kill and get back. Like, no, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Awful Rift Herald.
Awful Rift Herald. Anyway, so into game 3.
I didn't take notes on this one, so carry me through this.
Envy just get really, really dumb. So they pick Graves jungle, which a lot of people are kind of like shitting on it.
I like it. I don't think Graves is that good right now. I
You
feel
don't
like
think so?
People want to use the lethality on it, but I don't know. Graves got like just hard nerfed over time and just isn't that good of a jungler anymore.
Maybe Dignitas used it today, and we'll talk about it in their series. They used it all right, so I'm still like kind of down with the Graves. You don't have to force the lethality thing, but then they pick it with Kalista, Rakan, Rumble, Cassio. So no front line. In a meta where tanks are just broken. They just don't take any.
Graves
Against,
doesn't have a good time versus no front line.
yeah, so then Thresh, Trist, Maokai, J4, Talia. It's like, well, we have a lot of engage for your 0 tank comp. And this game starts out with a 3-0 for mid. Which is just like they kill Pyrian and then Niski, excuse me.
Oof. That guy's on P1 now.
Yeah, he's looking good. They go mid, they kill Niski. Lyra and Scarra for like hanging around there, and then they just try and fight, and there's just a 3v2 in the mid lane. They kill 2 more. It's a 3-0 for TL.
Oh,
and then
that's not good.
Yeah, Envy tries to like answer back by focusing bottom because it's still winning. Game goes on forever because Reignover can't use Maokai. You know how you use Maokai, right? Like you start the objective off. They look like they need to walk forward. They have no fucking front line. Press your R. If they try and walk forward, you kill that guy. Reignover's solution for using Maokai is to go for the Insect ultimate. So what he does is he uses Righteous Glory, flash W like a member, and then ult backwards.
That's nuts.
So he flashed W's through like past the front line onto a backline member, and then ults the other way to CC the team.
I think I saw that too.
And it's just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Just press. You're on, like they're on Baron. They're forcing Baron, and rather than just ulting the other way while still staying on Baron, he just fucking runs at them. And by the time he does this combo of Righteous Glory, Flash, Q, R backwards, he's dead every fight because they have all damage. And instead of singling out a member and killing him front to back, he dives backline, so all 5 hit him. It was
Nice.
just the dumbest shit.
But Teal ended up taking it. What ends up happening?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Their comp's just so much better that they can engage like that, like an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
And like, even though he dies, he still sees somebody.
Oh, yeah, at a certain point of the game, they just become too tanky, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, other people do that, but you don't. No, it's the fucking worst way to use that. In that situation where there's no front line, you're on Baron, burning it down. You just fucking ult at them, and like, what is Kalista going to ignore it? Is Rumble going to run through it?
Yeah. Pretty weird.
Yeah, pretty weird.
Pretty weird. Can't say I agree with that one.
We'll move on to the next series then. TL win 2-1.
Woohoo!
And we go to Dig versus TSM.
Wow.
This is a surprise. Shocking 2-0.
Dig shit on TSM. Jesus.
Yeah, they shit on him. 2-0 for Dignitas.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I underestimated the Altec and Adrian duo, but they seem to be doing really well.
I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Which is just before Blod and Keem were like both really inconsistent, sometimes just like got smashed. But now the bot lane just generally wins, top lane generally wins, and Keen still like a little inconsistent, but recently he's been doing better.
Yeah. I think someday it looked a little weird on the Maokai. Not gonna lie. There's some points where he did that thing you were talking about too, where he just ultis like backwards, try to do the insect thing, where you can just easily ulti in the front.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times where, even in this, he did do it right once at Baron, and you get to see how strong it is because it's like it takes up the whole path.
Literally, the entire river is covered with this cat.
Was he in the cat skin?
Yes, he was in the cat skin.
Ugh, the cat skin.
Everyone's using the cat skin.
Someone used regular Maokai today, and it looked
really?
fine. Yeah.
Oh shit.
But yeah, either way, it just felt like Dignitas.
Oh, I didn't like the Xerath pick for Bjerg. It just felt like kind of randomish. They must have had practice on it to bring it out because they wanted to use it as a counter to Cassiopeia, but I did not like it at all. I think he looked very bad on it. Did not look good.
Yeah, so I was talking to Tony about a little bit why he thinks they did that. He had some interesting things to say. There were a lot of mid lane bans in that game. It was LeBlanc, Syndra, Ori, Talia, and you're basically looking at like Victor as probably what you would expect to play into Cassio. They went with the Xerath. I understand the idea where it's like there's all these tanks and shit in the front line, so we're just gonna burst them using like Jarvan, Xerath because it isn't a mobile backline. It's just Cassiopeia. You just fucking lock her up and kill her. But interesting. Shut up, Tony.
Interesting.
Yeah. Either way, like I understand the comp, but it just feels like TSM is not playing on 7-14. Like, what 7-14 pick? Like, is Jax a 7-14 pick?
Oh yeah, the Jax pick too.
Yeah, right? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it was so weird how they played around that pick too. They're trying to kill a Maokai as like Corki and Jax. That shit is not gonna happen.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get back to game one because
Okay.
I should have brought the Jax, but it just feels like they're playing random shit, like the Xerath in game one.
Xerath, yeah.
And they almost made it work still, but
Yeah.
it was just not quite good enough. So Shrimp dies and they random counter jungling, but the big first play is a 3-for-0 for Dig in the bot lane where TSM try to force aggressively, and Xerath is like roaming down, stops in the river to start pewing his ultimate, and just like Cassio just cuts him off and flash ults him.
Ah, okay.
And then they get that kill. The bot lane skirmish obviously goes bad. It's a 3-for-0 for Dignitas right away. There's a couple skirmishes that go okay for TSM. They're not quite able to kill Cassiopeia in a couple of them, and she just like kills your front line too fast.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like shoot over the front line, but then Graves, Cassio, Kalista are just like shitting on you on your on your Sejuani J4.
Oh yeah, Sejuani pick as well. Yeah, it just seemed like he couldn't do much. He literally just too much damage on the Sejuani.
Yeah, there's just not enough to like help him because what Graves did as well is Graves went Blade of the Rune King, and for the most part Jarvan goes armor first, health first, excuse me. He doesn't go armor first for the most part, and then he also went MR early.
Yeah, he went to QSS, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think he went QSS like second.
Yeah, so they ended up just being able to consistently burst through TSM's front line before anything could happen. And then they do the pretty typical Dignitas early Baron.
Yes.
And they use Kalista correctly, and they use Maokai correctly, and they force a Baron.
Oh yeah, this was pretty. Oh wait, is this the second game?
No, this is the first game. I mean, that's just Dignitas. They use early Baron every game. Game one, they take it. TSM kind of fight them well after they get the Baron, and like they kind of get out. But it's just the comps are too mismatched, and eventually Dignitas find a fight to end it. And it's just I don't like TSM's comp that much. Like I understand the idea. Bjergsen was 3-1-1 at one point, and there's one fight around the mid lane where they let Cassiopeia live with like 1 health, and then they lost the fight. But
yeah,
it just feels like I mean you can play that way, or you can just pick Cho'Gath, Braum, Cho'Gath, Alistar with Sejuani, and then just pick things that kill frontline.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I understand the pick, just don't like it.
Yeah. So game two.
Game two, the Jax. Why? It just felt weird.
I don't know. You're a challenger player, right? You play solo queue. You can tell me about Jax.
The weird thing too is the way they wanted to play around it felt like they wanted to make plays on the Maokai with Jax, right? But then Jax is itemizing for a team fight build, so it's even like you're even putting it in a deeper hole where you're not gonna kill this Maokai. Maokai is not killable. Yeah. You're not gonna kill Maokai with Jax having a Randuin. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, the Randuin is weird.
It's team fight build, which is fine. Like you can build a team fighting build of Jax. That's just how it works. But again, it's why pick Jax when you can have a Gragas or, you know?
Yeah, and then you're up against ᵐᵉᵐᵉ. Like, if you guys missed the Death Ball ᵐᵉᵐᵉ shit, oh god, it's back, baby. Full on Death Ball, charge, run at your face. You're gonna fucking die.
Persar, get rooted, die.
They played Janna as well.
Oh yeah, the Janna pick seemed to work out.
I mean, what ended up happening, this was a super, super slow game. First blood came 18 minutes
into
the game.
It was a 0 kills at 18 minutes.
Yeah, and like all that happened was Janna would press E on Sivir. Sivir WQs the wave, and now it's getting pushed on your turret. And they slowly took turrets. Then...
It was weird too, because I felt like this game, TSM would want it to go to a later state of the game, right? They had a Tristan, a Corki. If you go to 50 minutes, like you can actually start DPSing down, even like if this Death Ball is strong. But the way they wanted to make plays was on the Maokai, and they just get countered for it.
Yeah.
They try making the play on Jax, or Maokai. They can't kill Maokai. Corki dies because Sivir and Janna rotate. Then they do the thing where Dig's just like, fuck it, do Baron. They do Baron, get the Baron, and the game's over.
So this Baron was not clean, though.
Oh, this one
Sejuani gets over the
scary.
wall.
This one is definitely a scary one. This was a straight up 50-50.
Yeah,
but
straight 50-50. They just get the smite, though.
They get the smite, and they lose Baron, and wow, they ran at them.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. They're like, the way that they took the bot inhibitor was literally like Sivir pressed R, they ran forward, TSM backs off the turret, Dignitas takes the turret. And it's just... It's too fucking easy.
It is.
And once again, like...
Amazing to play against.
It's amazing to play against. Lots of counterplay. I actually don't mind heavy tank metas.
I half agree with you.
Half.
I just feel like... It's because I come from the point of playing the AD.
So that's what I said. I don't play...
You don't play AD. You
well,
play
I don't play
Maokai.
the game, but then I don't play AD or mid, even when I did play.
Yeah, so it's... Obviously, when you're the Maokai and you run into them, you're just like, wow, I'm unkillable and I kill people too. This is great. But when you're the Tristana trying to deal with it, you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah, I like it for a couple reasons, and competitive is like, generally the game's more stable and it's about like intelligent decision making as opposed to like, well, you died mid early on. That sucks. But that said, it does get really snowbally because like triple tanks from ahead just run at you. And either you get dove under your turret because they're there first with like better rotations and shit like that, and they're unkillable, so they never have to worry about the tank or the turret, or like you try and fight them, you can't kill them, and like I don't know, it's so hard to win, or they just take objectives.
And again, it's just weird how TSM doesn't like follow suit with that.
Well, that feels like TSM meta, right? Like Monsters on a tank, Sven's on
he
an
even
engage.
tweeted out, he's just like, wow, Maokai's good again. So it's like, oh great, like. Hunter Maokai, the unkillable...
Wait, who tweeted that?
Hunter. He tweeted out, like, Maokai's good again. So it's like...
When did he tweet? Like, today?
It was like 2 days ago or something like that. So it's like, this is...
Why ain't you picking that shit, dude? Why'd you give it to them twice?
This is his champ. Everyone knows Hunter for his god Maokai, who's, like, outplaying people, unkillable, 1v5ing with his Maokai, and then... It's Jax time.
Yeah, it's Jax time, dude.
Yeah, it's just weird.
But yeah, TSM... Don't look at all prepare for 7-14 meta. I don't think this means they're bad. They'll get used to it. They'll figure it out. They'll play it. They'll win with it. They just don't know what it is right now, apparently. Like, a lot of teams don't know what it is, to be fair. They just feel extra far behind with, like, the Jax and Xeraths and stuff.
Yeah. I think maybe they'll even bounce back tomorrow, too. They have one more game, right?
Yeah, they play somebody tomorrow. I don't remember. It's not someone too hard, because I know that CLG and Immortals play, which is the battle for number 1, which is pretty hype. But I don't remember who TSM plays tomorrow. That said, Dignitas looks pretty fucking good. They're one game behind TSM after this, or one series back. And they're 3-0 the last 3 series.
Yeah, Dig. Probably a team to be scared for now.
Yeah, decent bot lane. Strong objective control. They just go really hard. Oh, they play Echo Fox, so yeah.
That's going to be a good one. No. It is not.
No, it's not. Just because I see people going off in chat about it again, what rank am I? I'm unranked. I don't play anymore. I was diamond way back in the day.
What rank are you? You're shit. You can't be an analyst if you're not challenger. I'm not even challenger.
Yeah, you just worked on a team for 2 years.
I'm still master.
As the coach, you know.
Fuck.
Oh God.
I have a challenger jacket though.
That's pretty sick. I have a team liquid jacket.
That's pretty sick.
Should I go get? You can wear your challenger jacket.
I was gonna wear
my team liquid jacket.
Combine the force together.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I played jungle.
You played jungle?
I used to play jungle.
Really?
Yeah.
You look
No
more
mechanics.
You look like a mid lane player to me.
I told you I didn't play mid.
You look like a big bitch to me.
Yeah, that's why I play jungle. I don't want to match up directly against anybody. That's scary. I want to take unfair fights where I show up and it's 2v1 and beat the shit out of the guy. That's what I do at bar fights, you know?
At bar fights?
Yeah, someone's talking down to my boy. I come up from behind and
you get
bottle him.
Josh.
Yeah.
Beat him up.
Someone's talking to Josh. Josh, get in here.
Josh, fuck this guy.
Yeah, anyways, next series.
Bar fights. Echo Fox for COG, right?
Yep, Echo Fox versus CLG, baby.
Hell yeah.
Well, so obviously, just like Scarra, Yuna here is a big fucking CLG dick rider, so he'll be the one to talk about this series a little bit.
I feel like game 1 was pretty.
No, that was Friday's games.
You know, just COG versus Echo Fox. Shut up.
Yeah, I just moved the arrow actually right past it.
This game was, in my opinion, it was a ᵐᵉᵐᵉ show. He played. Mm-hmm. I feel like getting trolled.
I'm not. I just agreed.
Biggest thing that happened was that, whatchamacallit, 940, they set up a gank with ᵐᵉ and Taliyah. They killed Gnar, I believe. So they killed Gnar. ᵐᵉ starting his snowball lead. About a minute later, around 10:30, Echo Fox tries setting up a gank on the bot lane. It's spotted out. They're playing really safe for about a minute. So it's really weird that they're taking this long to try to get this gank off. It doesn't work out. They go into the bot side jungle, try killing Dardoch. He flashes away, lives. ᵐᵉ comes in.
Teleport, baby. Teleport flank. God. If you miss ᵐᵉ teleport flanks, they're not quite the ridiculous home guard, TP, Righteous Glory quite yet. Though there is Righteous Glory back in the meta, but if you come from behind with ᵐᵉ and you just ult, and you're just like, fuck me.
ᵐᵉ TPs from bot lane, ults, and he ults 4 people, and they all die instantly. It was just a huge swing. It was a massacre. The game was pretty much over right then and there.
Yeah, it was actually probably the best new ᵐᵉ ult I've seen so far.
It was great.
Because he hits I think 3 people right away, and then he W's onto somebody and he Qs them back, and I think he knocked 3 people back with the Q as well. It was just a beast play by ᵐᵉ.
Yeah, he went on the 82, which was the best he could have done, and knocked 2 people back. So great ult. They're all dead. The game's pretty much. I felt like the game was pretty much over after that. They just play
it's still kind of scrappy.
It's a little bit scrappy.
It's 2 for 1s, but it's because they're ahead. They keep getting the objectives.
Yeah, they keep getting objectives. 1250 they trade mid and top for their bot tower.
Yeah,
that was a great trade. ᵐᵉ's literally waiting at their outside of their base.
Oh, the one
to kill Keith.
That was game 2.
Was it game 2?
Yeah, the one where he set up the little sapling thing, and then no one came, so he got bored and just ran at Keith.
Oh, was it?
That was game 2. But I mean, you're not wrong. The game's mostly the same thing. They're trading turrets really well, and then they just they don't. I don't know if it's right to call it. They sneak a Baron. They just do a Baron, and Echo Fox doesn't ever check it.
Sneak. Yeah. Well, I guess you can call it.
I mean, yeah, 'cause it's technically the same thing. They do a Baron. They get it.
I feel like they knew, but they just couldn't really go in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that was a pretty simple game. The COG just runs over Echo Fox. The best thing I saw that game from Echo Fox was Acadian showed up to the 3v1 gank they wanted to set up on Gnar, which was if Acadian's not there, this guy's dead 100%.
Yeah.
But he shows up and they waste Taliyah wall and Bard's flash, I think, something like that. But yeah, that was the best thing I saw.
You're definitely talking about game 2.
Game 2.
Because CLG played Soraka game 1.
Oh, my bad. That was all of game 2.
Well, especially not quite, because the punch was game 1. The 4-man the 4-man ᵐᵉ ult in the bot lane off the TP was game 1.
What?
Oh wait, no, it wasn't.
You're wrong.
We're both tripping balls, dude.
Whatever. That's one game. One game.
That was game 2.
That was all game 2. I fucked up, but that was
game 2. No, you're right. The dive was the bot.
All this, what I'm talking about, is game 2.
Yeah, game 1.
I fucked up. I didn't go for game 1. But this is game 2.
Yeah, that was all game 2. Do you have game 1? I'll do game 1.
You do game 1.
Basically, game 1 is the subs. Where it's Froggen plus
the
Gate
subs.
plus a bunch of people.
What is this thing with Echo Fox, by the way?
I don't fucking get it. So
I don't get it either.
Their 5-man starting squad is 10-11 in game score. Anything that's not the 5-man starting squad is 2-9 or 2-10
Ooh.
now or something.
That's not good.
Hey, you guys want to try some more frontline, backline? Backline, frontline. Every 10-man roster. Everyone gets playing time. We could be maybe in the playoffs.
I like how they call it though. Frontline. That makes so much sense to me.
That's a really witty name for a losing strategy. I love it.
I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know how you feel about it, but I think 10-man rosters are fucking dumb. I don't like them at all.
It depends like what you're doing with it, and this is probably a broader topic.
This is a huge topic.
But generally speaking, the reason substitutes exist in any fucking sport is because people get tired.
I'm tired.
And that's it.
I like the way I feel like C9 is running their 6-man roster is what I kind of liked it.
Well, it's a 6-man roster. It's not a fucking 10-man roster.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
no, I'm trying to say like that's how I want subs to work.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying. That's why I think 10-man roster sounds so fucking dumb because it's like, no, we're not going to take Jensen out ever.
Yeah, why would you take Jensen
we're not
out?
taking Siki out.
Why?
We're not taking Smoothie out.
Why would you do that? There's no point. But Impact, who like seems to suck on those carry champs, Raid does well on them, and they just went back and forth with that. So it's just like it worked out.
I think strategically you can do that, and I think 10-man rosters can work in like the new franchise system where like you scrim each other. I think that idea is fine. Subbing or scrimming your like challenger team if it's 7-14 and you want to try out some cheesy shit or like. Oh, how good is Cho'Gath? Well, we're not going to play him versus other teams, but we're going to play him versus our sister team. So when we go and play on 7-14, no one knows.
They have
we
no
play Cho'Gath.
idea.
Yeah, that's fine. But don't put them in the actual LCS to go get their brains pushed like shit on. Like they just get curb stomped. And it's the same thing with TL.
It feels weird saying because I feel like DeMonte is like a good friend of mine. I think he's a great player. But there should be no reason Froggen is ever subbed out. He's just too good. Right now, he's too good.
I think like you can argue like maybe Froggen in like macro sense has some problems because the team always sucks late game. But like DeMonte's not a god late game. I think DeMonte played really well.
He plays well too.
Last week he played really well. It's just you're not better than Froggen.
Yeah.
Individually.
And then it goes the same thing with like. Actually, I don't know.
We're about to say Grig and Acadian?
Yeah. I feel like that was a little bit close. That's probably like the closest one I can see.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, sure.
Regardless, I feel like it's just why this 10-man roster stuff is just I don't know. It feels like there's no actual like game plan to go into it.
Right, like I don't
like the players aren't even playing like, with the same things where it's like, you know, I feel like there should be some kind of where like if Grigna's in and someone else is in, it's just like this guy's in, that guy's in.
Yeah, like, it's game 2, so this time we're using this roster, which just doesn't fucking do anything different.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's awful. Anyway, so game 1, because we didn't actually break that one down that well.
Or at all.
At all. So game, this is how we should have known. They played Maokai in both games, but Dardoch played at game 1.
Oh, yeah.
And Darshan played at game 2. This game, he was on the Jarvan for Darshan. And they just kind of camp bottom. They gank bottom once with Maokai. They go for the flash WQ. Soraka Silence can do the same thing. They dive it again at 11 minutes. And then they win a team fight at Dragon really like convincingly. And then the thing is that they keep getting objectives off all of them. So this is when I was saying they keep getting skirmishes and they keep getting like 2 to 3 leads. Yeah, game 2 was a slaughter. Game 2 is a fucking slaughter. But yeah, this one was really close, but they just kept getting more objectives. And then this is the one where they kind of sneak the Baron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they go and end the game.
Nice.
With that. Okay, there we go. Get me out of this series.
This nut. This series is nuts.
Nuts series. That's actually, we're going quick here, my dude.
We are. Shit. Slow down, bro.
No, I'm on a roll.
No.
P1 TL.
No. P1 first TL. Ooh. This series was nuts, bro. Okay, man. I don't know.
Why are you trying to get this series so hyped up? Are you saying it's nuts just because TL beat P1? Like, that's...
What do I say about this, man? I was there today.
All right, so you have a first-hand experience. How was it being on P1 for that?
Let's just say everyone is sad. I don't know. I feel like everyone is obviously knows their issues, knowing the issues, and it just sucks to see because we're just losing.
So I don't know. I know this isn't really your place to answer this, and this might be an awkward question, but what the fuck is going on with Ryu?
Well...
Because I didn't read any of the things they talked about, but from what I heard, there was no good like explanation given. He just asked for time off.
to be straight up honest, this is 100%. I'm telling you all the information I know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So it's just like I only show up on LCS days. I don't really know what happened. All I know is Ryu's not playing.
So you can't give me any more information, but I saw Dom tweeting about this, and I actually take his side pretty heavily. So what Dominate was saying was like, man the fuck up. You're a pro player, and like you need to go out there and play because that's what you're hired to do. Your teammates are counting on you, and you're just like, I need some time off. And like, what I'll say is this comes under the caveat that there's no like mental health issue where like, you know, your family didn't die, or, you know, like Matt was benched because he was having like last season because he was having anxiety attacks and like he just couldn't play well, like under pressure on stage and stuff like that. And if any of that kind of stuff is happening, I get it. Then no shade. But like if you're just like, I don't think I'm playing well, take me out, or I don't feel like playing, I've lost my competitive spirit. It's like, bro, you have like 4 weeks left. Sack the fuck up, play with your team because these dudes need you.
Well, like I said, I don't know if that's the case. If that's what he's doing, then I agree with you.
He said he wants to retire.
I don't know. I don't know if that's even true. Like I've seen nothing of it. I don't know. I didn't ask for you. You know, it's still obviously like a touchy subject. At the end of the day, the one thing that I kinda I'm worried about is that P1 didn't have a mid lane sub.
Yeah, they had
so
to get Period.
That's like what really like weirded me out was like they didn't have mid lane sub, so they actually had to go and be like, yo, Envy, give us Varian back.
I didn't say, someone in chat said that. I was reading chat when I said that, by the way. I did not say he wants to go retire.
I know.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, if that's what he wants to do, if he just wants to retire, then I have this contract here for another 6 months. You can't just retire on me.
Yeah, I don't know. This series was very, again, it was just like P1's macro is just very, very bad right now. At 10 minutes,
it's funny because in game one, so this is a 2-0 for TL. There wasn't like,
actually game one I thought it was more. It felt like more of like a mechanics thing. People were overextending for kills they couldn't get, and then like Special Mike died 4 times before like 15 minutes.
Yeah, they just got caught out a bunch of times.
They were trying to kill people. They get caught. They can't kill, and then they're dead.
Yeah, there's like a river. Like it was like level 1, or maybe it was level 4 or something. They get caught out in the jungle. Mike Young dies. Top lane, they're chasing for a kill. Lorlo comes down and collapses. They get another kill. Then TL's bot lane gets a 2-for-0. And it was like one where everyone collapsed down there. So like the fight starts out, but ends up with all 5 people down there. I think Lorlo gets the teleport in first. He was pretty on top of his map awareness or whatever. He was well coordinated with his team. And yeah, Golden Glue's Orianna went off.
Of course, I went off. Haha.
It says off as like the Golden Glue Orianna has gone in a while, so I think it's fair to call it going off.
Yes.
I don't know.
With the memes, yes.
The TL macro sucks. They have a 5k gold lead, and then they start trading turrets, and it goes down to a 3k gold lead, and it's like, wait, bro, you're winning. How are you trading inefficiently against P1? But yeah, like you said, it's just like it didn't matter.
It didn't matter at that point. Like, I think Mike was like 0-3 at one point, and then Expesh was also like 0-3 at one point. So it's like they're on Gragas and Kench.
Kench and Lee.
Kench and Lee.
Yeah.
Kench and Lee. Yeah. So they're just dead all the time.
Yeah, they just keep dying.
Lethal's pretty hard. If you fall like that far,
I'm surprised they played Lee.
Feed.
If you like, so like it's weird because I can understand wanting Lee because it gives him more individual playmaking. But if you want a physical damage jungler, I'm just not sure why you wouldn't go Kha'Zix or Graves or something else in this
I don't
meta.
know. I feel like it's especially like a comfort pick for Mike. Maybe like a.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like because
yeah.
It feels like they just need him to like hard carry the early game. Otherwise, shit like this happens where they just slowly die and lose out because they're pretty much bad laners across the board. Oh well, they just.
Not a good game one.
Not a good game one. Game 2 does not get any better. Yeah,
this is again the one thing I really liked from this game that they did was they had a 3-champion flex kind of thing where they had Gragas, Maokai, and Jace.
Yeah.
So they could flex them anywhere, and I actually really liked that like style. I thought it was great, but again, it didn't really work out.
No, did not work out. So what happens this game? I mean, we talk about some people not really playing the meta. This is an example of TL. They didn't play super meta, but they did pick like good comps where it's like J4, Elise, Taliyah, Sivir, Thresh. It's a good comp. It's just not like
Super meta.
It's just not super meta, but they use it well, and at this point, TL just needs to find wins however they can get them. Reignover's been having better early games for the most part. He was struggling to like get his like. He would like go for like level 3 flash cocoon plays and just like fucking miss them. And the problem was not like the idea, it was always the execution. Mm-hmm. But this time they dove top early on. They got a kill. They redove it again. He misplayed it because he's Reignover.
He like eased in for some reason.
Yeah, it's like you have a wave coming in. Maokai ults backwards to stop the Taliyah and Elise. And like instead of just eating the root and waiting it out and like playing it slow,
walking up, queuing, Wing, he turns into a spider. He's on top of Maokai and dies because he's tanking the tower because he hits first.
Yeah, he hits first, doesn't have his E, and Maokai just chain CCs him. It was one of those things where it's like, dude, just
fucking wait.
Yeah, your Taliyah got hit by this shit. Just get hit with her.
It's hilarious too. The way they like made the camera point, it was literally like Taliyah and Elise just standing there, waiting for Maokai to walk up, waiting for the wave to push up. So they're just waiting there. Maokai is going to die.
Yeah,
and then he just plays it fast and dies. So it's just Reignover.
This is the Reignover, but regardless, they did get the kill. All right,
he's dead. Yeah. That is one dead
guy. They almost lost this game because P1 did have a more meta comp, like you said. That's Maokai, Gragas, Braum, Jace, Kog'Maw. Yeah. So it's literally like
I think off like champs like. Oh my god, they lost.
Yeah, P1's comp is like, we're going to put 3 fucking beefcakes in front of you. And there's like there's a skirmish in the river where TL, like, they have Thresh Elise. They're like, yeah, we got to pick comp. And they start trying to pick, I think it was Gragas. And Gragas is like, I'm just in the way. You hit me with all those cocoons. That's great. You hit me with everything. And then he ran away, and then Braum went in, and Maokai was on the flank, and they chased it down. The only reason this wasn't a 3-for-1 was like Golden Glue actually played it pretty well and got a clean up kill onto Kog'Maw.
Golden Glue played. I feel like he played really well this game too.
Yeah, he played pretty well this game as well. There was like a mid fight that P1 also won.
Jace snipes out like 1 or 2 people, I think.
Yeah, the Jace starts going off. He gets his tier. He gets double lethality.
Do you think he itemized wrong this game? I feel like tier's not a necessary item on Jason. Plus, he was against Elise Taliyah. Shouldn't he rush Hexdrinker in that matchup?
I'm not 100% sure. I would think you would go Hexdrinker into, like you said, double lethality. Because the lethality is super good versus TL's comp. No one gets that tanky. TL just has like a Poppy for like tankiness, and then everyone else will die to Jace poke.
Yeah.
But I don't think tier, especially mid lane Jace, where you get blue buffs.
Yeah, I feel like tier just was not an effective item on Jace anymore. Like for a while.
Even top lane Jace.
Even top, you don't really need.
They were rushing Bork.
Yeah. It just felt like a little weird. Regardless, it still worked out. Like, he still played fine. Yeah. But I just thought the itemization was weird.
Yeah, eventually what happens is P1, despite the rough early game, bounced back through having a better comp in mid-game fights. And then, I think they just thought their lead was bigger or something. Because they won 2 fights and started grabbing objectives. They get the gold lead back, and they're like, yeah, let's force Baron, yeah! And like, they just misplay it.
Yeah, off that, yeah, wait, I wrote this down. Oh, yeah, they get a pick. I forgot who they picked.
They pick Reignover. There's no smite.
Oh, they pick Reignover, they do Baron, and then they just all die.
Yeah, they like...
And then Baron, TL gets Baron.
Yeah, they do Baron. Golden Glue is, like, on the top side of the pit, and everyone tries to turn off together, except they just do it really poorly. Golden Glue's just fucking pelting them with Taliyah Qs.
He actually was... If he didn't get his W off, he would have died. What happened was, I forgot, someone was in front of him, and they were about to get that CC to stop him, and he would have died, but he W'd it off himself. And then, once that W hit them, they were getting wiped.
The only other thing that happened was, like, Lorlo hit a nasty ult to knock Jace out of the fight as well.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it was just, like, mechanically outplayed by TL, and then they just all fucking died. TL gets the Baron.
And then, it's pretty game over. There was a wall, a fantastic wall by Golden Glue where he walls off mid, and then
they get the poppy stun against the wall.
and it just slams him into the wall, and it's pretty game over.
Yep, the TL snowballs with that Baron. They win this series 2-0. Their first 2-0 weekend since they have Fabi on the team. First 2-0 weekend of this roster, including Spring Split. So, congrats to Vault Boy. Bouncing back. Never too late. They can still make playoffs. They can still make the run. They can go to Worlds.
We can do it. What's the percent? Oh, yeah, I saw some post on Reddit that's like, you have the same amount of percent to get cancer as it is for TL to win a game.
Well, that's not, everyone gets cancer.
That's true.
Maybe if cancer was a rare disease, but it's shit, I'm pretty sure 1 in 10 people get cancer. TL wins 1 in 10 games. What a great stat. I mean, I understand there was a joke to be
Mark is pissed.
It's cancer.
His TL.
Haha, watching TL is cancer.
Steve just texted him,
I'm making parallels. This is funny.
I'll give you $100. Just go against this stupid Reddit post.
Yeah. Well, it was just, like you said, a stupid Reddit post. 16% chance, okay. Yeah, 1 in 3 people, 5, everyone gets cancer at some point. You ready to move on?
Good series.
Yeah, good series. All right, last one of the day. Bit of a scrapper.
Fly versus Eat Mortals.
Oh, I already switched my papers up. Sick. This is a 2-1 in favor of Immortals.
Yes.
Was pretty sketchy. Immortals is another team that looks like they have no fucking idea what's going on with this patch. It doesn't feel like they know what patch they're on. Rumble Jungle? What am I smoking? Kennen support. These are things that haven't been changed in forever. Why?
Why? I do not understand the Rumble Jungle at all. What was
I'm pretty sure what that was, and this is game 2, so we're getting out.
Misclick?
We'll see. We'll talk about that in a second, actually. Let's get a...
Yeah.
That was game 1, wasn't it? No, that was game...
Wait, that was game 1. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was game 1. Okay. So what it is Balls has a good Rumble. I don't know if you've got this memo.
Yes.
Did you know that Balls has a good Rumble?
Balls has great balls.
Rumble. So we're going to take Rumble early to keep it away from him.
Yes.
Okay, here's the problem, though. Balls also actually has a reasonable Camille. As much as we make fun of Balls for being, not a tank player or a carry player, his Rumble's fine. His Gangplank has always been fine. His Camille's fine.
Yeah.
So they take Camille, to counter the Rumble, and then Immortal's kind of oh, fuck.
Shit, we can't run this Rumble top lane.
Yeah.
It's going jungle.
Yeah, so they put it jungle, and they take Poppy, which is a soft
counter.
A soft counter.
Soft counter.
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Because
It's a soft counter.
I never saw it as
There's never there's never a game ever where I felt like Poppy just completely shafted Camille. There's definitely parts of her kit where obviously the W works really well against the E.
The ult works against her ult, yeah.
That kind of stuff, but yeah, it's just not too insane. Camille can still work around the Poppy.
Yeah.
And even then, Flame solo kills the Camille.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Flame...
I thought this game was over after that solo kill, by the way. I was like, what? He's actually doing that thing where he completely counters Camille.
Well, and he, Smithy turns the gank bottom.
Yeah.
So you're hey, they're doing it. They're
it's
popping
over.
Off. They had the Rumble at 14 minutes, and Invade kind of gets turned, but for the most part, Immortals is snowballing this game. I think it was a 4K lead when they did Baron. They get the Baron. Instead of just running away with Baron, because they used 3 ultimates to zone. They used Talia Wall, they used Poppy ultimate, and they used Kennen ultimate. And then as they're running away, they use Rumble ultimate. And they're yeah, let's still fight this.
We got this, guys. Let's go back in.
Yeah, so they fight it. They lose 2 more people, but they're still fine. They're still they're still winning the game.
The game still feels in Immortals' hands.
Until Cho'Gath happens.
Eat.
So around mid lane, 33 minutes into the game, Immortals try and pick a fight mid lane. It's mostly all the damage is going to Cho'Gath. He pops his Gargoyle Stone Plate. Outplays him. He bites somebody for 1,000, 2,000 damage.
1,000 health.
Yeah, and then Immortals didn't kill anybody. FlyQuest turns it around. They have pretty good single target damage with Camille, TF, Cho'Gath.
TF actually does damage.
Yeah, he does. So they end up taking this fight 5-2.
Yeah, the game swings. It just felt really weird that Immortals lost this game. I thought this was pretty simple. After literally 10 minutes, I thought it was game over.
Yeah, and they even though they were kind of making small mistakes, it's it's Immortals versus FlyQuest. The Baron wasn't that clean. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Nope. Rumble Jungle just sucks that hard. The team comp just sucks that hard.
I thought it was funny how high was like 0-2-7, and then at the last team fight he picks up three kills and he's 3-2-7. I just
that was the weirdest thing. It's just like no one. This is like there's some games where you're like we have to like because we have to give out player of the games. We're just like
shit.
Like who played well?
Wait, who got player of the game?
I don't even remember. I think it was Lemon with Janna.
That's nuts.
How do you feel? Okay, so you're a bot lane player.
Yes.
Tell me about Janna versus Kennen.
Janna versus Kennen. It should be a Kennen favored matchup. Janna has no pressure. Kennen actually has a lot of pressure. He just constantly spam Q.
But they took the Janna into the Kennen.
The obviously the huge thing that's like the counter is the ultimate, right?
Yeah.
You push Kennen out, but even then, it still feels like you get pressured by the Kennen. Like it's only like again, it's like kind of like a soft counter, I guess you can call it.
But
like,
it's a weird one because you still lose lane.
Yes.
And against Kalista, Kennen, like sure at level 6, if they Kalista ult him in, you can ult him out.
Yeah,
but
if you ult him out, he still has a way to get in. Like he's still gonna flash on top of you. Like I can see why they wanted it, but it doesn't. I don't think it was a good pick here.
Because I do like Janna a lot in the meta because like it's a lot of tank supports. It's not very much harassment. Like Zyra's dead.
It's definitely good.
Karma's dead.
Supports,
Lulu's dead. So like I can see it. But you picked it into Kennen, which is one of the few like bully matchups anyone's playing right now.
You still get bullied, but at least you can push him away, kind of thing.
Yeah, and
I don't like it.
I personally didn't really like it. I like it counters Kennen. Facepalm, duh, and then you watch them get fucking ass blasted in lane. And it's like, that's great. And there's also like a million engage tools now. So like Janna counters one, and then like what happens when they have Maokai still?
Yeah, it was a bad pick. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the kind of thing where like it worked out this game because the rest of Immortals comp is dumb and they played bad. But I don't know how much I like Janna and Kennen actually.
I don't like it, especially if it's like paired with a Kalista, especially.
Yeah.
Where even if he does get shoved out, he still has another way back in.
Yeah, so like you ult, he flashes back on top of you and you're stunned.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Yeah, either way, FlyQuest win this game.
Yes.
Immortals is going to take the next 2 though.
Yes.
So in game 2, it kind of just felt like the Ole show a little bit on Thresh. He was popping off. He had this really nice play where he threw a hook at Wild Turtle. It missed, but then he pulled it, like hit a creep, and he pulled himself anyways, and then still flayed him back. So that was pretty nasty. A lot of cool shit like that.
Ole's playing really well.
Ole's probably the best support in the league for the most part.
That's nuts. I thought he was arguably one of the worst last split.
At the beginning, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. At the beginning, he looked awful.
Him and Cody, but then they turned around a lot.
Yeah, there were some funny stories about that team, and like confidence and team synergy and things like that.
Didn't hear anything about that.
You didn't hear anything about that?
Nope. You can tell me afterwards.
So, anyways, into game 2, after Ole has some good stuff going down on Thresh in the bot lane, Immortals dive top. It's Rumble getting killed by Renekton. Tends to happen. 3-man roam. Yep, 3-man roam up there. And the Immortals just kind of snowball really, really hard. And Pobelter's Corki's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So you have to say about Pobelter's Corki? Just has 40% damage share. Just like, yeah.
I mean, what else can I say? It's pretty nasty on that fucking champ.
Do you think that champion is balanced?
I don't know. What is Corki? I feel like whenever Corki's in meta, I don't know if I like it. There's some games where I feel he's super oppressive, I can't do anything, and then there's other games where I don't feel like he matters too much. It's weird. I kind of like Corki how he is right now, but it was a thing where I'm kind of like scarred by Corki, where it's like whenever Corki was in meta, you would just die. You'd lose to Corki no matter what.
Yeah, like Frostbomb, Triforce crit.
Ow. I'm 90% at that.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting his Rapid Fire. Ow. But now it feels a little bit... I don't really mind Corki too much.
Okay, because I'm kind of in the same boat where it doesn't feel as bad right now as it did when the first time Corki mid started being a thing, where it just like bullied every matchup super hard, and then you get package at 6 and roam bottom, and it's like, or 7 minutes, or was it 8 minutes?
Something like that.
Something like that, whatever. Anyways, this is a complete snowball for Immortals. Pobelter pops off really hard. Game 3, another Immortals win. And this one was a little bit slower again, but it feels like Smithy is pretty good. And once again, Ole's pretty good. Do you know Ole ended this game 6-2-6? He had the most kills in the game on his team.
What? Who's he playing?
Bard.
What? That's nuts. What?
Yep.
That's so weird.
Anyways, Smithy ganks mid at like 9 minutes. Fucking Flashy body slam with Corky damage. Outplayed. Flashy is a good ability. They start winning fights in the top and bottom because they have Kled into Rumble, which like I don't know where Kled went. Kled just like disappeared.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like Kled's not. Is Kled as effective as he is against tanks? Oh wait, yeah, he is. I don't know. Where did Kled go?
I don't know. I feel like he's just all about like gank setup, you know, and like.
I feel like tank itemization is better than what Kled wants to build. Kled wants like Cleaver, Titanic Hydra, while like super meta tank items are like Stone Plate, Righteous Glory kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that happened too is there's just like Kled always had really good engage with his ultimate, but now there's like a lot of other engage tools. Like if you're comparing Maokai tanky engage compared to Kled, like I'll double down on the Maokai, please.
Yes.
Take another one of those.
Yes.
So maybe
that too.
Maybe that's it. Where it's just like if you want tanky initiation.
I think it's a little bit of like everything that kind of makes Kled not as effective as other tanks.
Right, and like he was always picked into Rumble. There's really not that much Rumble play. It was only in this series because I guess balls.
Literally just because of balls.
Yeah, so you know they picked the Kled into the Rumble. It starts kind of going off pretty hard, but things get scary because there's a 15-minute 4-for-1 in the top lane out of FlyQuest.
Oh yeah. That's when, it's just like a team fight that just got smashed in.
Yeah, like the Kled ult and just goes flying past the whole fight. And he's like, I can't cancel this shit.
Yeah, that was a really weird team. I don't know what to say about that one. I think it was just like a misplay for Immortal, sloppy team fighting, and it almost turns the game. But
yeah, they get that 4-for-1. It's still pretty close, but then Immortals get like the most random ace mid. I had to like break this fight down on the analyst desk like after the series. And I've seen the team fight 2 times already, and I was still kind of like, fuck, I don't know what to say. Bard ults somebody, they chase that guy down, they kill him, and then it somehow turns into an ace? Like, what the fuck? It was supposed to be just a pick.
Oh.
It was around mid lane, they get the ace. I think it was a 5-for-2 as they continued to like dive a lot, and then they just turn back onto Baron and they get it. And then Immortals wins the game from there.
Hooray.
Hooray! And that's the last series of the day. Immortals wins 2-1 over FlyQuest. Pretty sketchy stuff though. They don't I feel like a lot of teams don't have a great handle on the meta. I'm not 100%.
It's weird. Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure it's going like full blown tank meta. But every time I see triple tank, I'm like, oh god, this looks dumb.
Yeah, I don't really like triple tank at all. I don't think anyone likes triple tank, but you're right. I definitely think some teams are just, I don't know. There's just some weird stuff going on. Xerath, Jax, Rumble Jungle. Why?
So one of the things we're talking about is, is it because it's 7-14? It was let's be honest, a fucking horrible patch in terms of like, we just made a bunch of shit randomly good.
Yes. Like
Duskblade's just broken. Yeah, Maokai's cool. How about we make Singe good, and while we're at it, we'll take Cho'Gath, make him broken, and then like.
It's kind of understandable because the patch was just not good, and it just like. It was just one of those things where, like, everyone was even joking about it on Twitter. It's like, this week of LCS is going to be fucking great. So, I don't know. I feel like, at a point, it's easy to recognize that tanks were good. That's why I feel like I'm kind of judgmental about it, but, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's because... Like, do you think there's so many champions being picked because no one knows what the fuck is going on, or because like there's so much broken stuff you can play whatever you want?
I don't think I necessarily agree with them so much broken stuff because I think there's like a good amount, but I don't think there's like a huge amount.
Well, so usually on red side you have like 3 bans and they become the standard bans. Like way back in spring, LeBlanc, Rengar, Camille, and then like maybe you should be banning Kha'Zix too, but teams didn't do it because you can't. You only have 3 bans. So like maybe there was 4 OPs arguably then.
Yeah.
Now, what are your OPs? Like Zax's broken for sure. Caitlyn got a 2% attack speed nerf. She's pretty fucking busted. Kallista's super high priority. You got Cho'Gath, who seems crazy when anyone who's good at champion plays it. Maokai's dumb as shit.
Maybe there are just too many good tanks.
Yeah,
how do you even fix Zac? That's like one thing that I've been thinking about was like, how do you fix Zac? Because, what? Zac's kit is so fucking good.
It's just long range engage with like a thing that pulls them back and then another thing that pulls them back and hits them together.
The weirdest thing too is like why is Zach's Q the way it is? Like, you have the max, like, you know how, like, some abilities, you rank them up, you get more CC time. It's the max, like, at level 1, and then you don't even have to hit the ability on the champion. You can Q a minion, and then auto-attack the champion, and then boom.
Yeah, so that was the thing that, like, when I initially read it, I was like, that's kind of weird. But the fact that you can Q, like, something easy to hit first, and then get the auto-attack to get the pull...
Maybe they should just fix it where you can only pull it back if you Q the champ, but yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot of tanks that are good right now. I think tank itemization is really good right now, too. And yeah, maybe there's just too many tanks that are good.
And then, what about some of the lethality?
You
think that's broken?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem that strong and competitive.
Ever since the Dustblade nerfs, it feels like a lot easier. Before, it was like, people were picking, like, Talon Z again, and it's like, oh god, like, what do we do? But now, like, Dustblade got nerfed a bit. There was no Zed. I feel like Zed's usually the champ that I'm like, okay, fuck lethality.
If Zed's ever good, something's wrong?
Yes. Fuck lethality. Like, it feels really bad to just someone to just spam W. Like, he just walks up to you, you're dead instantly. Around, like, 2 of your teammates.
Yeah. Zed gets a little out of control. Oh, well, that's going to do it for this show. Do you want to do a Q&A session? It's up to you.
You can do, like, a 5-10 minute one.
All right, we'll do a 5-minute Q&A session, boys.
Please ask everything personal. Ask Mark about what he's going to do afterwards with his girlfriend.
I'm probably going to go to bed.
Legit? Oh,
yeah.
Bed together.
No.
Oh. Okay.
No.
All
right, so give us some good QA. Give us something for Yuna, huh?
Yeah, give me some good questions.
Welcome him back to GLT.
I love this show. Why is tits or ass always the first one?
Because it's funny, bro.
How old are you, Yuna? At Scarra.
Well, they have to do it because...
21. I know, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is we're not logged in on Scarra, so we don't see it. So I actually see the MarkZ ones.
Yeah, it's true.
These are so useless. No real questions. Penis or shoulders, socks or gloves.
Predictions. I feel like that's like a classic one.
CLG versus Immortal predictions. I think CLG wins.
CLG, woo!
Why do you think CLG wins?
Oh shit, that's a hard question now.
I don't know. I have a strong opinion about it. I mean, like, I'll probably be wrong just because, but just look at what the two teams drafted today.
Oh, yeah.
CLG drafts ᵐᵉ. They execute on it well.
Based off only draft, yeah, you're right.
And then, yeah, just they fucking struggled to beat FlyQuest.
The one thing I'm like worried about is, I feel like a big thing about this Rumble thing was obviously the balls thing.
Yeah, it felt like they're trying to be too smart in the draft.
It's weird too because I do feel like Immortals played like fuck just like the champ select thing. They just played like kind of weird that whole series.
Why am I wearing a prepubescent ink? It's a Kraken.
It's a Kraken.
My brother gave it to me. I don't even.
Well, is Kate still good? I don't know if Kate's good.
I think Kate's good.
I've seen zero Caitlyn at all.
She was banned. Oh, in solo queue.
Oh,
well, I don't know solo queue.
Yeah, I've seen zero in solo queue. It's kind of weird.
All right, let me see just real quick. Banned red side, banned red side, banned red side. Picked this game. It lost by FlyQuest. Banned red side.
Kate's good.
Banned red side. Picked by CLG and won. Banned red side. Banned red side. So I would say Kate's probably still good.
Kate's good. Best ball in NALCS.
I feel like not many stick out. Like, you want to say double lift in...
I don't want to say that.
Well, I mean, just like based off name, you'd want to say double lift in Biofrost. But then they don't look that good.
Yeah.
Sneaky's been looking worse.
Sneaky's looking a little worse.
Piglet's not so hot. Arrow not so hot.
Not so hot. Yeah.
Cody Sun, like...
I think, like, the first two that popped in my head actually was Cody Sun Olay and 6A Afro.
I feel like 6A and Afro like still aren't like lane dominant. Like, I think Apollo and Hakuho are like maybe the most lane dominant. Like,
pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I believe in Hakuho, bro. I was like,
I love Hakuho actually.
At the beginning of last split, I was like, this guy's gonna be good. I don't think this guy's shit.
Well, the weird thing is that like he had his come up.
I'll take Adrian, I guess.
Oh, Altec and Adrian would be like the new hotness.
I want to give him more time, obviously.
Yeah, it's been 3 series, but they've been
good.
In the 3 series that have happened since they started playing it. They've been the best bot line.
Yeah.
But on the Hakuho point, what's weird about him is he like rose to prominence when it was the most boring support meta ever. And there was zero playmaking. And you played Lulu, Karma, Nami,
game.
Zyra, and like, cool, you press empower Q.
You can't really look flashy.
You can't look good in those champs. So like, he became very good during that time, and now that he's on Playmakers, you're like, oh shit, his Thresh is nasty. He's doing stuff on Morg. This thing's happening.
Everyone's asking about D-Ring on Jhin. D-Ring on Jhin is the same thing that happened with when GP went D-Ring. It's just for the mana regeneration. I feel like it's especially good against like Tristana, because Jhin wants to play passive in that lane because Triss is a counter to Jhin. So yeah, just go D-Ring against Tristana, Caitlyn, stuff like that. Stuff that outranges you or counters you. Everything else, keep going D-Blade.
And there's some AP ratios like on the Q. So like
make it like a small AP ratio.
Yeah, so it's not that big of a nerf in like your attack damage, or I mean your combo. Do you think Mike Young had an off weekend, or is he crashing back down to earth like Nori after the hot start?
I think Mike definitely didn't seem as comfortable this week. It was kind of weird. Usually he's like more, I don't know, I guess like almost like dominant with his play, but he felt like not as, I don't know, proactive. Like the other junglers always making the play first, while it felt like before Mike Young was first blood king.
I feel like there's two things. One is just people don't know how you're gonna play, and so like if your first series you're just like up in someone's face all the fucking time, they're like not ready for it. They're like, oh, I'm doing my Raptors, this will be fine, and then like a Lee Sin or Nidalee comes like flying at your face, like, oh fuck. And then when people start expecting it, and you're like, Mike Young's really aggressive, ward your jungle entrance has a little bit more and shit like that. He's gonna invade your ass, and then they start playing around you, and then also the meta is like probably not good for him.
It's less favoring those carry junglers and more tank junglers. So
right.
Yeah, it's definitely not favoring us.
Sejuani, Maokai, Gragas, Zac are all better. I mean, like Elisa's still fine. Graves is apparently fine.
You can play them, but yeah, it's still like at S tier you're playing tanks.
Yeah, if you want to play Nidalee and go the fuck off, sure. But if you don't, like, get ready to have Nidalee against two tanks and be fucking useless. This is why we did not rate Mike Young that highly during our drunk GLT player rating session, was because, yeah, we haven't seen that much of him. And what do you know? He cooled off, and now he doesn't look that hot. It was just Europe sucks ass and made someone look good.
Europe sucks ass. Hell yeah.
What do you think of Kane?
I actually really, really enjoy Kane, but I think he's trash until he gets his first evolve. Like, I don't care if it's Shadow or Darken. I think Darken is better, but yeah, I don't know. I think he needs time to really get the game going, which is sometimes a bad thing, because I feel like a better jungler will get the game going before Kane can go off.
So what do you think about maybe people just don't understand him yet? Because sometimes people just like don't know how a champion should work, and then like someone somewhere figures it out completely, and then eventually the pro learns it, and then eventually it gets kind of broadcast, and everyone's like, oh shit, this is how you play it. So like, do you think he needs the super leash to be effective? Because they played it both times blue side, and both times he got the super leash.
I feel like, I don't know. When I think of Kane, I thought about that too. Like the huge thing with, there was like one champion, I don't remember too. It was recent too, where everyone was like, "Wow, this champ." It was Zac actually. Zac. I think everyone initially thought Zac was the worst of the tanks. Turns out he's the fucking best of all the new tanks, right?
And like they did add that bonus health damage on his Q, but I mean that was a massive buff. Don't get me wrong, but people hadn't figured him out.
People didn't know how to use his fucking ult. Like, people didn't even realize you could just Q a creep and drag someone. If someone flashes away, as long as you get your auto attack, you bring them back from their flash. Those were like huge things that happened. So
Maokai's the same way for the most part. Like,
yeah, it was like people didn't learn his ult, and like his Q was different too. His E like sapling was like,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
you can fucking take a buff on the other side of the map.
That's nuts. But when I think of Kane, I feel like the thing you have to learn the most about his kid is like how to utilize his E as like effectively as you can, because you can take some crazy ass fucking routes, but I still think like his E doesn't give him that like once you evolve is when your E actually gets really effective.
Yeah.
But it's still, even then, like there's no real like weird ass route you can take where your E just somehow like makes it so like easy to get a gank or something like nuts like that.
We'll see, because Contract seems pretty confident that's going to be good.
I still think it has. I still think it's a good pick, but it feels like I don't know. It can be abused.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like S tier. I think it's like maybe like high B tier.
We'll see, because I'm not convinced it's going to be super high tier either, but it feels like
the way Contracts played it was really weird too. Like I believe he got Shadow Assassin the first game he played it.
No, he was dark in both.
No, yeah. He was dark in both, but he was given. You know how like you have
you got the
and
Shadow
he waited
Assassin.
like 5 minutes to get that darken for him, which is like that scares me too because that's 5 minutes in the game. That's actually
he didn't
a huge amount of
evolve
time.
Until level 11 in the first game.
So yeah, that is a lot of time in a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. That worries me. That people like want to go darken that much that they're gonna sacrifice until level 11.
So I heard there were some proposed Shadow Assassin buffs.
Oh yeah, apparently I just read something that like Shadow Assassins can get like disgusting buff, which is I don't know. I feel like Shadow Assassin actually isn't that bad. The way it works is you can get your WQ off instantaneously, and it's like 1,000 damage.
But
And your ult sucks dick though.
in competitive, most of the time it's more about like how reliable things are, and like just running in through E, Q, and then ulting somebody is like pretty reliable versus like the assassin form where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna.
It's bad in solo queue too, which is weird. That's why I felt like it was, but it is bad in solo queue. No one likes it in solo queue either.
Yeah, I heard someone asking if they thought Blue Kayn was the worst champion in the game.
Maybe.
It's
It's so weird how his ult, like going from using the Darken ult when you come out you're like, oh, I'm full HP. Going from the Shadow Assassin and coming out you're like, oh, I'm dead. It's just so weird.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I have to combo him again to get any use out of this ult, I guess.
It's weird for sure.
All right. You want any other questions? You want to call it?
Fuck this stupid show.
I agree, dude.
All right.
That's it for Greatest League Talk Show on Saturday. Scarra will still be out tomorrow, so Yuna will be helping me power rank the teams.
Yes. Yuna again. Fuck Scarra.
More Yuna. Josh will continue jerking off in the corner with his fight stick. But if you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to follow on YouTube. Follow our Twitters, all that stuff. We'll tweet out every time we're going live. And until tomorrow, have a nice night.
Mark, you alright, bro?
No. Can we? There we go. Let's do this. That's not the power ranking.
Hey.